Hey, how's it going? How is everybody doing on this wonderful hump day? Today is Wednesday. It is 1 p.m. in the afternoon. You might be thinking, Schmo, what are you doing home? Aren't you normally working at this time? Normally, yes. But Monday I put in a really long day because I had to go to Columbus and go to all 5 of our restaurants in Columbus and finish up some things. So that the lady from PAR, which is kind of our networking, the company that does our networking and handles like the media that goes to our menu boards and registers and everything, should be coming to do all the configuration to get their second, at each store we put in second screen per order. So they have one dedicated for drive-thru and one for front counter and DoorDash. So she'll be coming in to get it all configured and do the final setup on it now that I've got everything in place and hooked up. So it's a long day. And then yesterday wasn't as long a day, but I went and I mowed one of the locations and did some stuff inside there. So today I thought, we had literally, I think it was raining all night last night up until I want to say around 7:30 this morning or something. It finally died off. So I had a feeling that the grass, it might be a little soggy. So I'm going to give it a day. And then tomorrow I'm going to double up and take care of landscaping at probably 2 locations. And then same thing on Friday. And then here in a couple weeks I'm going to hopefully be able to get to where I can just concentrate on just doing one each day and just rotating them well, technically it'd be every 9 days, but it'd be a full cycle for 8 days. It'd be a full cycle for the 6 restaurants that I take care of the landscaping in. Because I have Saturday and Sunday off, so you can't count those days, but if I do one store each day, then every 8 days they'll all have been done and it'll be time to do the first one again. So today I decided to take a little bit shorter day, and I'm going to get a few things done around the house, menial stuff. I'm going to do dishes. I think I'm going to shampoo the carpet in the theater room, and then been working on the office, getting some things organized in there, getting some things listed so I can move them up here into the other room. So I'll probably do that a little bit too. And, yeah, so that's fine home. But anyway, we are going to do, as you saw from the title of the video, we're going to do some vintage cards. Now these aren't like vintage. These aren't like 60s and 70s cards. But they are from like the 90s. So they would be considered that, that a lot of people refer to it as like the junk wax period of sports cards, where they massively overproduced them, which is true, they did. So, most of the cards from the 80s up through the 90s, really up to about 2000, maybe even a little bit past that, they don't hold a lot of value. Although, I want to say like late 90s is when they started doing a lot more of the bells and whistles, if you will, in cards as far as their design. So you started getting more fancy inserts and parallels, numbered cards. They started you started seeing a lot more autographs being done, and relics started making an appearance. So then after 2000, you really get into where it was worth, maybe not monetarily worth buying cards, because you don't very rarely actually get what you paid back in value. Occasionally you do. But I want to say at best maybe 50-50. And then it really depends on what you're buying. I've seen a lot of people I myself don't buy them just because I don't have the money to go out and spend $300 or $400 on one box. But these people that buy like hobby boxes and stuff, they often say, and these people that are actually in that business, they buy them, to do breaks and stuff like that. And they've said, it's about 50-50. 50% of the time, you hit something great, and you can at least break even, make back what you paid for the box. Other 50% of the time, you're losing money. But that's the risk you take. Part of it is just the fun. But yeah, so I just buy the smaller blaster boxes and stuff like that. Occasional mega box here or there. But the vintage cards, a lot of them don't have any value. Even a lot of the bigger name players don't really have any value unless they're really pristine and you get them graded and they get a high grade. Well, then, that's where the gamble comes in. Because if you can pull one of those real big name players and the card is immaculate and you get it graded and it comes back a 9 or a 10, then you definitely made your money back. And depending on the player, I mean, you could be looking at a large sum of money. But there's only a handful of players that you can count on it. But even some of the other ones, if he gets a decent grade, chances are you'll be able to sell it for more than what you paid for the pack that you got it out of. But a lot of people online now are doing because they're either people that through the years have bought these like liquidations, if you will, of old sealed junk wax era boxes and stuff. Or maybe they at one time, or maybe they still do, own like an actual card shop, and they've been breaking open all the old junk wax era boxes to make these basically like these little mystery boxes, if you will, where you're supposed to get 100 cards for a price. I can't remember what I paid. It wasn't that much. So not 100 packs, but 100 cards. So I got a total of 5 packs. And the one pack is definitely quite a bit bigger. Now, of course, with these era of cards, the one thing you always run into the risk of is them being bricked. And if it's really bad, chances are when you try to get them apart, they're going to lose some of their luster. They might even rip or tear or pull some of the card off. It might stick to the card in front of it. Hopefully, that isn't the case. But it wasn't expensive, so I thought, why the hell not? Let's get it and see, maybe we'll get lucky. I do know, I kind of looked up earlier, because these were shipped UPS, and I have UPS My Choice or whatever the hell it is. And there's a UPS store like right back at the main store I work at, where I clock in and out, even when I'm going to the other stores. So if something's coming UPS, I just have it set up. They automatically change it to where it's just held at the UPS store close to where I work, and then I can just pick it up. So I went to pick this up, but then another thing I ordered, which was I ordered 400 top loaders and then a thing of 100 Funko Pop protectors. Not $7 a pop. They're a little bit thinner protector, but they're still decent because I already opened one of them up and put one of the Funko Pops I had down there in it. I mean, it'll serve its purpose, and they weren't that expensive. But that was coming FedEx, so I went in and had the FedEx thing held at the FedEx, which is actually across the street from where I work. But it wasn't there yet, so I kind of just hung out in my car for a little while and had some lunch, and then when that was delivered, then I went and picked it up. Alright, I know, I'm just rambling. But here we go. This one I believe this is a 1990. I think that's what it says on the back of here, because it doesn't actually say on the front, but it's a Donruss baseball, puzzle and cards. So I think it's got a couple of puzzle pieces, and then 5 cards. So let's see what we've got. Now the puzzle pieces might actually, I'll probably sleeve that up. I mean, those might actually have some value. I don't know. Do you know? Comment down below if you know. Is this something that you think people might actually be looking for? But this one we've got, looks like this is part of the puzzle for Stan Musial. So that would be the bottom left corner. Okay. Here we go. Donruss. This is 1988. Okay, I was off by a little bit. 1988. We've got, actually let me put that puzzle piece out of the way. Because unless it's a real big name player or it's a rookie, I'll just stick it here and then I'll just throw them in my boxes and people order stuff and it makes sense to throw in some baseball cards. That's what I'll use them for. We've got Ron Hassey from the, what is that, the White Sox? Yeah. Oh. The Barry Bonds. Might put that one out. How does the centering look? And off a little bit, top to bottom. Left to right, it looks pretty decent. Definitely a difference top to bottom, though. Yeah, we'll put that off to the side for now. Leon Durham. I must have been looking at one of the other packs that said 5 cards, because this definitely has more than 5 cards in it. Ted Simmons. Randy St. Clair. Lee Smith from the Cubbies. Terry Steinbach. Dave Hengel. Kirk McCaskill. Oh, we got a Diamond Kings for Mark McGuire. Kevin Gross. John Davis. I don't see any rookie cards in this pack. Jay Aldrich. Jeff Dedman. And Ed Lynch. Didn't see any rookies. Because I'm pretty sure even back in '88, of course I might be wrong, but I was thinking that they had the rated rookie is how they were marked. But alright. I mean, it's not bad. A Diamond King for Mark McGuire. And a Barry Bonds. I mean, the Diamond King is definitely, it's probably not even worth keeping. It's the centering on it is way off. But the Barry Bonds I might hold on to. Alright, next up we have 1992 Donruss. Series 2. This has got 15 cards in it. 1992. I don't know. I didn't look up 1992, so I don't know like who the big rookies are in 1990. I do in 1990. Probably the biggest rookie was Sammy Sosa. All right, here we go. Carlton Fisk. Todd Benzinger. Storm Davis. Mike Greenwell. Rich Carses? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Melito Perez. Oil Can Boyd. Now, if that was from his rookie year, I'd probably set that off to the side. Kurt Stillwell. Here's a highlight for Brett Saberhagen. Tom Brunansky. Terry Leach. Gerald Young. Tommy Gregg. Wally Backman. And, ooh, a Bo Jackson. A little sorry on that. Maybe a Barry's hair. Right to left. I don't know. Overall, that looks pretty good. Alright, we'll put that off to the side. Alright, we'll save the big pack for last. Alright, next up we have I think this is 1990. Don Russ. Orange instead of red. Here's a puzzle piece for Carl Yastrzynski. Yeah. So that's the top. That would be the top left. All right, here we go. We've got Todd Vernon Stottlemyre. Ed Whitson. Jay Buckner. Or Buhner. Lance Johnson. I like on the back it actually has like their full name. So this is actually Kenneth Lance Johnson. But on the front it just goes by like the name that they kind of went by. Alright, we've got Steve in parentheses. Bernard Buchel. Oh, we got a red rookie for Patrick Dennis Combs. Will Clark. Kevin Tapani, something like that. Pete Harnisch. 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 Ernest Riles. Tom McGran. Billy Hatcher. Ken Phelps. Mike LaVallery. Probably said that wrong. Mark Carrione. It's not a bad card. I mean, you'd be better if it was a rookie of him. And Larry Walker. It's not a terrible. You can definitely tell back in this period of cards, pulling a rookie was actually more rare. You know, now almost any pack you get, it's going to have at least one rookie, if not a couple of rookie cards in it, regardless of the sport. Back then, I mean, so far, literally, I only pulled one rookie card. I'll have to go through and double check, make sure I didn't miss one, but... Alright, now we have a score. Series 1, 1991. I did look up 1991, but I don't remember who it said was like the big, like the top rookie card to look for. Alright. Greg Swindell. Jamie Navarro. Daryl Hamilton. Brian Downing. And this one's actually got some inserts in it. We've got the K-Man insert for Raymond Martinez. And the Rifleman, Bo Jackson. Nice. I was always a Bo Jackson fan. Of course, I was more of a fan of his because he played in football. He played for the Raiders. We've got Eric Plunk. Why do these cards look like all different kinds of cards in here? So we had like the blue ones, and now we have white ones. Tony Fernandez. Now we have black ones. Carlos Martinez. Jeff Russell. Steve Jelt. Bobby Thigpen. Here's one of these little little hologram thing. World Series Trivia 1909. On the back it says Babe beats him. I'm not going to try to read that, but I'm going to put that off to the side. People might collect those. Gary Milkey. Brooke Jacoby. Or Jacoby. Rick Aguilera. And Mark Carrione. Again, no rookies in there that I saw. Alright. Here we go. I know. Long video for just this, right? If you're still with me, thank you. Nobody's still watching, I guess I'll just be talking to myself. That's alright. I do that once in a while. And these were... I didn't even say what these were. These... Where the hell did the pack go? These are 1990. So we're looking for a Sammy Sosa. Fleer 1990. We got Jeff Reed, Wallace Johnson, Jeffrey Leonard, Jose Uribe. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Kent Merker, Eddie Murray, Larry Sheets, Bill Duran, is that Vial Weiss? It's like VIALWEISS. Or is that Walt? It might be Walt. It's hard to see on here. Yeah, maybe y'all can see it in camera. Of course, it could just be my eyes too. David Justice, Mike Blowers, Sammy Sosa. It doesn't designate it as a rookie though. I mean, when I Googled it, it said 1990 that was Sammy Sosa's rookie. Maybe it was wrong. Huh? We'll put it off the side. The centering left to right, it looks really good, but up top to bottom, actually top to bottom it looks good too, because it looks on par with all the other ones. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up a little bit more. Cecil Espy, Andres Thomas, Robin Ventura, Frank DePino, Jose De Jesus, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. Not De Jesus. Alright, we got a couple of team, I guess you would consider these inserts, right? We got Toronto Blue Jays. Let's set these off. Giants. And the Detroit Tigers. Lance McCullers. That's the thing. I mean, if they're not actually designated as a rookie card, I might just go right past it, not realizing it's a rookie card. You got Bob Forsch, Chili Davis, Junior Felix, Tony Phillips, John Kruk, Mookie Wilson, Bobby Bonilla, Gary Gaetti, We've got an all-star team insert for Kevin Mitchell. Tommy Gregg. Bob Kipper. Omar Biscal. Milt Thompson. Dwight Evans. Steve Lyons. And Tim Burksas. Something like that. Alright, well, there we go. I'm going to have to go back through all these, and I'm surprised I don't. I mean, I could have swore it said that in 1990 cards, Sammy Sosa, that was the rookie card to look for. But I'll have to double check. I'll have to look that up and see, because it definitely doesn't have like a rookie designation on it anywhere. Which means some of these other ones could be rookies and I not even know it. Alright, well, comment down below if you know. I'm going to look it up. As always, look up yourself and everyone around you so a much better chance of staying safe and healthy. I know a longer video, but if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Make a comment down below. Have a little interaction. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I do have a, I think it's just a blaster box. It might be a mega box. I know it's at least a blaster box of Don Russ football. One of these, odds are one of these times I'm going to pull a downtown. One of these times. But we'll see. All right. Until then, see ya.